Welcome back. And as we earlier said, that most of the parents now are preparing themselves and their kids for a new academic year, and especially a new school year, new curriculums, new school policies and educational reform programs from the Ministry of Education, and a lot more. We're very delighted to be having with us Ms. Jihan Zahran. She's an education innovation expert with us live over the phone. Good morning, Ms. Zahran.
Good morning, dear.
How are you doing? Let us first talk about this new academic year, 2022-2023. How do you expect it to take place?
They expect it from all the fields of what we are talking about in Egypt now. We're talking about from the parents' perspective, from the educational institutions' perspective, and from educators' perspectives, right? So actually that we have three triangles now, and we want to talk about each one of them. That's really how to start the new academic year, right? Is that what I understood?
Come again, please.
Is that what we want to say, that we want to talk about the how to prepare with the three triangles? I mean, the parent side, the teacher side, and the educator side, right?
Right. We need also to talk about the government's policies. As we all know, there has been some changes that were effected in the Ministry of Education, and the President is following keenly over reforming the whole educational process and empowering and alleviating that particular process to a total whole new level. So how do you assess the government's efforts to be able to update and upgrade the educational process this year?
We have actually lots of development and process that have been happened through the past years, and especially that's really start to appear for the level of K-12 and the higher education as well, right? But we will have focusing about something that really touching some rules happened. Some actually new generations and new approaches that happen, especially in the rules for the K-12 and higher education. If we're going to talk about the K-12, we talk about the new perspectives of the curricula and how already that's transformed into a new digital things that's really happening now. And for the higher education, we will speak about how is the integration with the dual degree, with the standards for the international universities reflect the standards of the education in Egypt, and which is really very, very clear, which is happening nowadays, which is the dual degree. Most of the schools already looking for that to get the accreditation. And that looks again and reflects the standards, it reflects the level of educators, it reflects the development and how the student itself, when he graduates, to the market, which is really needed for the future skills, which is really completely appear nowadays.
Right. How do you think the challenges that are located or posed before the Ministry of Education and anywhere else, according to the pandemic, according to the economic changes, according to the whole situation worldwide, how do you assess the challenges that are posed before the educational process and those children taking their course in education in this academic year for 2022 and 2023?
All right. Actually, the major challenges that's not only in Egypt and all over the world, which is the self-development. We have to get the message most of the time to the educators, to anyone who's going in education fields, to push the students from K-12 and higher education to have the self-development all the time. Go to research. Go to know exactly what you have to be done to be accessed easily to the market. All right, regardless what's happening to you in your institution. Okay, so the student himself and the parents have to push him to get more and for more researches about the fields, more actions that can be done. Don't depend only on the things that coming to you. All right, so we have different kinds of educators, as you know. Some of them will give you the info which is really compact to you. Some of them will give you more access. And some of them will give you resources, skills. Okay? And this is actually what we need. So my message most of the time is related to the self-development all the time. Research skills. Develop yourself. All right? You have something that's really, which is really, whatever is, you see it average or not average to you, but you have a lot of issues that happening to you as yourself, as a student, and educators as well. Educators need to have more messages for researchers. If you remember what the president said when he got, there was funding that coming to the students, and we have to get like 33,000 for computer science graduates. The only one that really passed the test is 111, 111. And
Right.
that's coming to that. When the president said that, why is the gap? Where is the gap? The gap is the researchers. The gap is that students have to go more into skills that needed to their field, the standardization. And that's coming from both sides, of course. Sides from the student himself, and otherwise the educators, they should guideline what is needed in the market. And go ahead. Not related to be in the curricula by themselves, but just guideline.
Right. Dr. Jihan Zahran, the educational innovation expert, would like to thank you very much, and you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. And we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the breakfast show, so stay with us.